One, two, three, four.
Listening to The Sports Nuts.
All right, good afternoon or good evening, however you want to put it right now. I know it's getting dark later now, so we'll say good afternoon and welcome to another edition of Wrestletalk. My name, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Ralph Williams. I am the host of Wrestletalk along with my co-host Smokin, Jim Frazier. Yeah, what do you want to talk about? And let me talk to you. All right. Today we have a lot to talk about on the show today. WWE news, some big stuff going on here, and also AEW, TNA, MLW, and a whole lot more all coming around here today. We have plenty to discuss, and we're all simulcasting on our radio station affiliates, 95.5 KFCE in Terrell, Texas, TigerNation.com, Texas, Oklahoma, and Missouri, and also on 93.3 KGR in Seattle, and also on the Hawaii Sports Radio Network. Aloha to our Hawaiian friends tuning in here. Also 107.5 The Ticket in Montgomery, Alabama, and also AM 610 in Albuquerque, New Mexico, 105.5 FM The Roar in Easley, South Carolina, and WGR 550 AM in Buffalo, New York. I want to thank all them guys, for all them stations, for having us on. And also we're broadcasted around the world in different countries, South America, Africa, South Africa, and also in Australia, and all across China and Russia and several other countries all across the pond. All right, Smokin' Jim, welcome to the program. How are you today? Oh, you know it, man. You know it. Absolutely. All right. We are here today as part of Wrestletalk. We're going to be talking some different things going on today, but I want to get started with this. Those of you who don't know, Braun Breaker is out. He's out right now. He's got a bad hernia injury, which, according to what the understanding, the medical staff from the WWE, it was reported by Michael Cole on Raw last night, that he has a serious hernia injury that was in a result of being jumped, I guess, by this masked man or this hooded person running around with a hooded sweatshirt on, doing curb stomps and beating up everybody, including even going after Austin Theory last night. And I actually was quite surprised, but whoever this person is, no one seems to know who it is. And but whoever this person is, we can all suspect. We don't know. Right now, Seth Rollins has been making public appearances. I saw a internet picture with him and MJF at Super Bowl, at the Super Bowl in Media Row. So my question is, if Seth Rollins can make these appearances, and he makes appearances on New Year's Eve, on the New Year's Eve ABC thing, he was on there, and he's making a whole lot of other appearances. Is he well enough to be disguised with that hoodie, and do these kind of things, Smokin' Jim? So, what's your thoughts on this? Who this hooded guy is that's been going around beating up the Vision?
Yeah, I have no idea. Somebody puts a hood on, man. I don't know who they are, but you're usually right 100% of the time on this kind of stuff. Who do you think it is?
Well, I can't say, but I will say this: Becky Lynch has a bone to pick with the Vision. After what they did to Seth, she did tell Paul Heyman that as soon as Seth comes back, her and Seth are going to take out the Vision. I don't know if you remember that conversation she had with Paul Heyman right after his injury, and after he got ditched by the Vision. And now Braun Breaker, in my opinion, gets what he deserves. And I don't mean to be rude or ignorant about somebody being injured. Braun was in the process of possibly becoming championship material. He has been a champion before. So, I mean, Mickey Delaney checking in. Thank you, Mickey. And, but he gets what he deserves because, I've always said this before. You got to be careful with Paul Heyman. Look what he did to CM Punk, Roman Reigns. He's done it to some Seth Rollins. Paul Heyman is the type of guy who will come out and just simply use you whenever he needs you, and then after that, just spit you out and throw you away. And that's just the way Paul Heyman is. And he's been like that for many years. Even when he was Paulie Dangerously, he was like that back in WCW. So, I mean, but the Vision got what they deserve. They have a bunch of egotistical people there. You have, Bronson Reed, who wants to compete as well. And now, he got set back because everybody from the Vision is not involved in any of these in this elimination chamber now. So, here we are with this whole situation in this scenario. And I told you the Royal Rumble was going to fall apart for these guys, and it did. And I called that one because you got too many egos there. And how in the world do you justify just giving somebody the title and backing up? I don't see that. And maybe this will teach them a lesson. And I want to give Adam Pearce some credit for stepping up and cracking the whip on the Vision, because they've pulled some things on people right now that have made, the tsunamis, the continuing Bronson Reed of doing that, and injuring wrestlers and taking them out, and things like that. And it can ruin your show. It can ruin what you have plans in the future. And I just think that it was, I'm glad that Adam Pearce is finally cracking the whip a little bit on the Vision. And he's been sticking it to him for a while because of Heyman and his antics. What's your thoughts on this whole thing between the Vision and Adam Pearce here, Smokin' Jim?
Well, I tell you what, it's finished quite a soap opera, man. Merry-go-round, going up and down, and I don't think we're near the end of it, man. I think there's going to be a lot more, hurdles to climb there. So we just got to see how it plays out, man. So far, man, it's very interesting.
Well, I've called out Adam Pearce on social media. I've gotten on his Facebook page, and I've said to him, I think you need to get a backbone and start taking control of your show. And it looks like he's trying. I mean, he really is. And, so we'll see what happens with this moving forward as far as this goes. But last night's Raw wasn't too bad. It was interesting to see the two El Grandes going against each other. I thought that was pretty comical. You got two El Grande Americanos now, and they're going up against each other. You got the real El Grande Americano versus the I guess the phony or the stand-in or whatever you want to call it, Ludwig Kaiser, because that's who it is, and and his boys there, and one of those guys is Pete Dunne, formerly he was part of that gang with Sheamus. And but now he's back to his real name, Pete Dunne. He's one of the masked men. I don't know who the other one is, but I do know it is Pete Dunne. So I will say that. But it's comical to see this El Grande Americano thing go on. And what are your thoughts on this El Grande Americano?
It's outstanding. It's hey, when you got 3 hours, man, you got to make up that time somehow. I think this just builds another fan base.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. Also, last night we saw Natalya take out Maxine Dupree. With the ongoing issues with them, she trained Maxine Dupree in the Heart Dungeon. Supposedly, according to Natalya, Maxine Dupree didn't cut the bacon, and she wants to rid herself of this situation. And now she's constantly attacking Maxine Dupree and constantly, doing different things to upset the apple cart with her. And now you got Becky Lynch, who really hates Maxine Dupree real bad, getting involved in this thing. And now AJ Lee is finally, Becky Lynch has a credible opponent to fight against, in my eyes, in Becky Lynch and AJ Lee. This is going to be a really good match coming up for the Elimination Chamber. Smokin' Jim, what are your thoughts on this whole situation?
So she's wrestling a lot better. Who's ever been training her over the last couple of years?
Chad Gable. Chad Gable was training her for a little while there.
Whoever should take the credit for it. She's come a long way as a wrestler. She's got an athletic body. She's good looking, and I tell you what, man, she could be somebody that can hold on to a championship.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And also, interesting here, Liv Morgan. She hasn't made a determination yet as to who she wants to go up against. And I got to say this, I will give Liv Morgan credit. She is a dreamer because she thinks now by screwing Raquel Rodriguez and painted this scenario about how she thinks Raquel's going to beat Jade Cargill and her and Jade are going to become champions and they're going to be part of the Judgment Day and all this and that. I don't see that happening. I see Liv Morgan taking on Stephanie Volkare because I see that being an easier matchup for her because I'm telling you right now, if she takes on Jade Cargill, Jade's going to take her out. Raquel Rodriguez don't know what she's getting involved in if she thinks she's going to take on Jade Cargill because Jade Cargill's on a high right now, and I don't think anybody can take her down real quick. She's going to be the champ for a little while here, I believe. What do you think, Smokin' Jim? All right, let's move on here. Also, last night we saw the Elimination Chamber qualifying match. LA Knight qualified. Randy Orton qualified last Friday. You got some guys that are going to be involved in this match. Cody Rhodes is fighting, I believe, this Friday night. He's going to be matched up with Jacob Fatu. Only one of them can get in this thing. I don't know how this is going to work out, but it's going to be an interesting scenario here to see these matches coming up because you got guys hungry for this belt again. and we're going to find out what happens. So, and CM Punk versus Finn Balor again. I think, this was a desperado match because I think the plan was to probably have Braun Breaker fight CM Punk again at Elimination Chamber. And now that Braun is hurt and Roman Reigns is going to fight him at WrestleMania, I guess they're trying to give some matches to CM Punk so he can hold on to the belt a little longer. And then you got Seth possibly coming back at WrestleMania. There's rumors he could be back by that time. If that happens, I don't see CM Punk holding on to this belt too much longer, with all these guys hounding down his back. And then you also have Drew McIntyre is going to have a bunch of guys. You got Fatu. I'm hearing a triple threat match for WrestleMania. Fatu and Cody Rhodes versus Drew McIntyre in a triple threat match. I've been hearing that story. So we'll find out what happens there. Gunther, what happens with Gunther? He's another one that's looking for opportunity to challenge for the belt. So CM Punk and Drew McIntyre, they got a lot of competition here, Smokin' Jim. What do you think?
Always loved Gunther had the belt, and I can see him taking on better legends than CM Punk. But you can't count out CM Punk. You can't count out Roman Reigns. You can't count out a lot of those guys, man. They fight, die, and scrap the Warriors. They want to retain that belt, and I think somehow, some way, Gunther gets in the mix.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, again, I've made it known I hate Gunther. I can't stand him, but I respect him because he's a good wrestler, and every time he fights, it's a fight. I mean, this guy, if you're going to beat him, you're going to get hurt yourself. I mean, and that's exactly what it is with Gunther. A lot of times, and so I see him. What do I hear about Gunther?
What do you hate about Gunther?
I don't like his attitude, his disrespect toward people and everything else. But you know what? I do respect him for his wrestling ability. And, I do respect him for that. Yeah. Yeah, he is. And I just didn't, the way he treats, I mean, currently, which is actually his act now, he's the career killer. Just like when Randy Orton was the legend killer. Remember that? And, so now you have Gunther as the career killer, and that's the way that they're the way that they're putting it up there for him. This is his new thing, his new spoo, and that's what's going on right now. And but I have some announcements coming up next week. Dan Polinsky and the Pros of Wrestling have a couple of events going on. I know they have the Bruno Sammartino thing coming up, and they also have, which will be at the Ross Township Fire Hall. And they also have coming up an event in West Mifflin and a few other events coming up up in Pittsburgh area. I will have all the details for that next week for his events coming up. And I'm working on getting him on the air here, or his son Corey Graves also on the air as well. Those of you who don't know, I want to congratulate Corey Graves because he is now a professor. Instructor or whatever. He teaches communications at Point Park University. So on top of his other duties, and he's got to take care of Carmella there, Smokin' Jim. And I hear now he has 5 kids. So so there you are. He has 5 kids, 3 to Carmella and two from another relationship, from what I'm to the understanding. He has 5 total kids. Yeah, they have 3 kids now. Yeah. His Carmella's doing like Ben's wife. Ben's wife, when Ben got married, Ben Roethlisberger got married, she started popping out kids. Remember? Yeah. 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 So, yeah, he's got 5 total, two from another relationship, from what I'm to the understanding, and then he's got 3 with Carmella now. So, you know, but so I don't see Carmella being back anytime soon. So we'll see. So he has to find some way of making a buck. But anyway, yeah, it's good to hear that you know he's doing that, and he's probably a good teacher, good instructor. So we'll see. Also, speaking of that, coming up this Friday in qualifying match, Solo Sikoa once again will be involved in one of these elimination chamber match qualifying matches. Cody Rhodes. Also, we have Jacob Fatu and a few other matches going on here. Probably Sami Zayn, I believe, will be involved in one of these matches coming up, the qualifying matches. The end of the month is the Elimination Chamber. They're going to have one men's match, one women's match to determine who goes and fights, I guess, the champion that doesn't have an opponent for WrestleMania. That's, so if Liv Morgan picks Stephanie Voltaire, then Jay Cargill will not have an opponent until after the Elimination Chamber, which would be whoever wins that match. And, we'll have to see who's all going to be in that. If Rhea Ripley's in that, I'm taking Rhea. And so we'll see what happens. That's just my opinion of it. I'm taking Rhea Ripley. It's her time again. So, we'll see what happens with this match, this Elimination Chamber. The men's match, I'm taking either Cody or I'm taking, because I think Cody's going to probably win, and I think he's going to go to WrestleMania to fight Drew McIntyre and get his title back. That's just my thoughts on how this is going to work out. Smokin' Jim, your thoughts for WrestleMania? I'm also hearing a match between Oma Femi and Brock Lesnar for WrestleMania. I'm hearing that match. We will find out if Seth Rollins comes back and where that goes and where the vision goes in this whole scenario. But WrestleMania is coming up the end of April. And other than the NFL draft in April, the WrestleMania is probably the other event that's one of the top-notch events. Actually, it's the beginning of April. I'm sorry, not the end of April. The end of April is the NFL draft. But the beginning of April is WrestleMania. So April's a big month for sports and wrestling. So, but Smokin' Jim, your thoughts. Go ahead.
Why don't you start it off? I want to hear what you got to say on that.
Well, I think that it's going to be Cody versus Drew McIntyre, and Cody will get his belt back. That's my thoughts for WrestleMania. It's going to be CM Punk versus Roman Reigns. It depends on Roman Reigns' movie schedule. I know now he's heavily involved in movies with his cousin The Rock. So my theory is if Roman goes to WrestleMania and loses, then that means his movie schedule's back up and running. If he does win this thing, I don't see him holding on to it long if he has to go do movies. So, that's just my thought process. And I'm thinking Roman Reigns, I think, still has a contract for another couple more years with the WWE. He's going to be like The Rock and John Cena, and he's just going to be there part-time. He's just going to do his little thing, But if there's no movies for him to do, he'll be there full-time. And, we're going to find out where this all goes, and with Roman Reigns. But I think Roman probably will beat CM Punk if Roman doesn't have a big movie schedule. That's my opinion on that. And you may even see Gunther involved in some of this stuff here. My next question is what career is he going to kill next? Is he going to kill Randy Orton's career? Is he going to kill somebody else's career? Somebody getting ready to retire? I don't know. We're going to find out. If he's the career killer, he's going to kill somebody's career. I'm interested to see who he fights. I would like to see Gunther versus Brock Lesnar. That's what I want to see, because I want to see what Brock's made of still. I hear this is it for him for wrestling. His butcher shops are taking off, and he's focusing on that. I've seen a couple of his videos on cutting meat in his butcher shops. His family has a whole bunch of them, some of them up in Canada and the United States. And so I heard he wants to focus on that, and he's retiring. I heard SummerSlam will be his last match, whatever match he's going to have. And I'm thinking it's going to be against Gunther, and guess what that's going to be? The career killer. He'll kill Brock Lesnar's career. So we'll see. We got to find out who's on their way out, Smokin' Jim, and there'll be another 1 or 2 more matches, a career killer. If Jade Cargill, I'd like to see Jade Cargill go up against Rhea Ripley. That would be a very competitive match. 2 strong women. I would like to see that happen at WrestleMania, but we'll see who Jade ends up having against her. I don't see Liv Morgan going up against Jade because it's not a good matchup for her. She's better off going up against Stephanie Volker. And I don't see Raquel Rodriguez getting involved in it either. So we'll see. I see the Judgment Day starting to fall apart. Finn Balor is jealous of Dom Mysterio taking up all the spotlight. I've read reports that that's what Finn wants to kind of do his own thing now, and it's looking that way. It looks like the three women are running the show there, and Dirty Dom's just kind of like in the background. And I'm interested to see who he's going to fight at WrestleMania. Somebody needs to step up and take his title because he hasn't done much. He's always hurt all the time, or he claims he's hurt, and he's held on to both of those belts for too long. And somebody needs to do something with him as well. Go ahead, Smokin' Jim. Your thoughts on what I had to say.
Well, I think you laid it out greatly, man, but you failed to mention Tippy Town is back.
Yes, I did forget about that. Thank you so much for reminding me. I don't know. That's the question. Where does Tiffy fit in this? If I think the field is going to be what it's going to be, I believe that Tiffy could possibly win it as well. We will find out what she's going to do, and or where she fits in this equation, more or less. We don't quite know yet. Excuse me. Wow, we don't quite know yet where she fits in the equation. I haven't read or heard anything. I don't know what her plans are, or what the WWE has planned for her as well. You got Jordynne Grace too now. She's in the fold. So, you got a lot of competition around this whole thing. And we're going to find out. It's going to be interesting. It really is. And I'm interested to see what's going to happen with some of the guys that have come up from NXT. Trick Williams, where's he fit in the equation here? Where does Obafemi fit in? Where does that the guy that wrestled last night with El Grande Americano, where he fits in? So there's some guys that are coming up from NXT. Where do they fit in? That's what I want to know. So it's going to be interesting next few months to see where all this goes leading up to WrestleMania, Smokin' Jim, and also the Hall of Fame. Who do you think is going to be in the Hall of Fame? Who I think the Hardys. I'm hearing one or both Hardys might be in the Hall of Fame for the WWE. They've kind of taken a step back a little bit from what they've been doing, and also I think there's going to be a few other folks that might be in there as well. I can't quite say. I don't know who the panel is. I don't even think they've even sort of announced it yet, who's all going to be in the Hall of Fame, but I'll find out. I think it's only going to be 5 people this year. So, but I'll get that for you right now, Smokin' Jim. But your thoughts, go ahead.
Yeah, like I said, it's hard to add anything. So Ralph and yeah, I just wanted to really know where my Tippy Town fitted in. She's back. She lost her momentum when she lost the belt and got injured, but or whatever happened to her. But she's back looking good. Hopefully, she'll be able to get back on top. She stayed on top with her fan base. Hopefully, she'll get back on top with her belt.
All right, the first one to have been announced, and I left this out, Smokin' Jim, and I apologize. Stephanie McMahon. So she's the first one in the Hall of Fame. She deserves it. So and she will be inducted by the Undertaker. So I just want to let everyone know that as well. So we'll find out who else is involved in the. I'm hearing John Cena. I'm hearing, I'm reading something here. John Cena could possibly be someone that might be in the 2026 Hall of Fame. I'm looking at this here. China as an individual. China went in with the DX. Okay. China is an individual singles wrestler. Sid Vicious and the Hardys. And I see one other Batista. Because don't forget, they were going to put Batista in, and COVID hit. So they didn't have a Hall of Fame during COVID. Remember that? So they owe Batista. So I'm hearing Batista. This is what I'm seeing right now here as the Hall of Fame on the WrestleMania Facebook page, WrestleMania.com. It says Stephanie McMahon, John Cena, China. It also says Sid Vicious, the Hardys, and Batista. So your thoughts on this, Smokin' Jim? Go ahead.
Excellent class. China was special.
Yeah, she was. Died too soon. Was involved in drugs with X-Pac, and so it was a bad situation. Then she ended up being in porn for a little while, and it just her life just wasn't. You're right. She died too soon, and it was really sad. So we'll find out what's going on as well. So, but so far that's what I'm seeing right here, right now. I think Batista's in this one. Hold on a minute. Let me get the full list myself here. I just got it from the Facebook page. Let me see if I can get the list otherwise here. Hold on. Let me see what I can find here. Because I'm thinking, let's see, WWE Hall of Fame. Okay, now here's a report here from Fightful Select. They're saying John Cena will not be part of the 2026 WWE Hall of Fame. And Fightful Select's usually pretty good with their info. So we will find out on that one. So, all right, Smokin' Jim, Jesse the Body Ventura. And, Jesse's a very outspoken person.
Let me just ask you this.
Go ahead.
Since John Cena is turning down this year's Hall of Fame, does that mean maybe he leaves the door open for a comeback?
I don't know. I mean, I took a lot of heat because I thought that it was a disgrace about how the WWE retired him. I took a lot of heat for that. I got a lot of emails. I got nasty messages on Facebook and all that about how I made comments, which of course I did about my disappointment in how the WWE conducted themselves with his retirement. I thought that he should have won more matches than he lost. I'm hearing from some of these Einsteins, people who think they know more than I do, that this is what he wanted. I don't know how in the world you could retire, Smokin' Jim, and want to lose matches. You want to win to going out, all right? Despite the fact, Bill Goldberg didn't win going out, and neither did AJ Styles. But AJ Styles is not retiring. He's just leaving the WWE. He's going to finish his career in TNA, which is something I wanted to talk about. We'll do that later. He's either going to finish in TNA or he's going to go to AEW. But I think he'll finish in TNA because that's where he started, actually. After he was in WCW for a little while when TNA originally got started, he was one of the original wrestlers that actually started up TNA. So, but that's what's going on with that there. I believe that could possibly happen, but Cena said no. I've watched him on some talk shows. I've seen him on some podcasts. He said no. He's done. His body. He don't want to beat his body up like that anymore. And he's doing a lot. He's doing that series, The Peacemaker on TNT. He's doing movies. He's doing commercials for Half D. He's doing all this stuff. He doesn't need to wrestle. He doesn't want to wrestle, I don't think. I think he's done. I just believe, so we'll find out where it goes with with John Cena. Fightful Select this, and they're usually pretty good with their information. They're saying he will not be in this year's Hall of Fame, but I don't know. They could be wrong too. They have been wrong, but not as wrong as some of the other folks that put stuff out there. But I took a lot of heat for criticizing the WWE, and people, some Einsteins out here, try to tell me that's what Cena wanted. I don't know how in the world you want to retire Smokin', Jim. You want to go out on top. You don't want to go out losing. And to me, going out losing was not something that I wanted to see out of John Cena. How about you?
It didn't make me a difference either way, because it wasn't going to change his career.
Yeah.
One of the greatest ever. How they go out, But I'm glad you cleared that up, because I was just curious why show's not good. Then again, he's a busy man. Maybe it's the dates conflicted with a busy schedule, whatever. Busy. But sometimes when they get turned down a Hall of Fame opportunity, as far as the door open for a comeback. But I'm glad you cleared that up.
Well, Rey Mysterio's in the Hall of Fame. He came back. Edge came back. He's in the Hall of Fame. Bill Goldberg was in the Hall of Fame already. He came back. I mean, Undertaker, he probably won't come back, but I'm not sure exactly. At times he'll make an appearance, maybe. I don't know. Sting's still wrestling. He's in the Hall of Fame. Sting is one of few wrestlers, him and Kurt Angle. They're one of few wrestlers that are in the TNA Hall of Fame and are also in the WWE Hall of Fame. So there's not too many wrestlers that can say that. Ric Flair is another one that's in both Hall of Fames with TNA and WWE. So the Dudley Boys and a few other folks, are involved in that. So, that are double. But now China is going to get her second induction. She was inducted for the D-Generation X, but now she'll be as a singles wrestler being inducted into the Hall of Fame. And congrats on her. It's well deserved. She was good at what she did. She was a good wrestler. She was a women's champ, and so we'll go from there with that. But we'll see down the road here who all is involved in the Hall of Fame. But I just read you off what is thought to be, who's thought to be in the Hall of Fame this year. So we will find out. But my guess is, I know the Hardys definitely, and they've sort of taken a step back a little bit. They were wrestling in TNA. I think their contract ran out, and then they were champs in a couple other different wrestling companies, and I think they're starting to wind their careers down. And I think once they get this Hall of Fame thing, I think that's going to happen with them. So, we'll go from there. It's official. Wade Barrett and Big E have officially announced that they are no longer wrestlers on the roster of WWE. Both of them have announced this week that they have retired from wrestling. Your thoughts on that, Smokin' Jim? Wade Barrett. He's the one that's teamed up with Joe Testator. He teams up with him. Yeah, Wade Barrett. Yeah. All right, Sam checking in here. He says Survivor Series 2003, Team Austin versus Team Bischoff. Very underrated match. The match shoes, while Shawn Michaels is the greatest in-ring performer. Yes, he is. Shawn Michaels was probably one of the better ones, other than Stone Cold Steve Austin. Very good with the mic. The Austin McMahon thing I thought was what carried WWE in the 90s when they were competing with WCW. And so I thought that was a good idea by Vince McMahon to put that together. And so I thought that was interesting. All right, Smoking Jim, let's move on here. AEW, of course, we still have the Don Callis family pissing everybody off. He's going after Kenny Omega now. They're going after they're still going after the Death Riders, playing around with Moxley. That's going on there as well. And so the Young Bucks are back doing some stuff here. You got Hangman Adam Page and Swerve Strickland still doing it. It's still about the same stuff at AEW, but you know what? It's entertaining to watch some of the things that are going on. Mark Briscoe lost his title to Tommaso Ciampa, who showed up unexpectedly. Mark Briscoe offered an open challenge, and Tommaso happened to be there as the new man in town. And so it turns out that Tommaso is already a champ there. Your thoughts on that happening?
Yeah, I think we talked about it a little bit last week on that match.
Yeah.
Yeah, like you said, you got the way on man talks, man. It's crazy. Interesting. You never know what's going to come out of his mouth. Sometimes it's rhyme, sometimes it's little, sometimes it's street stuff. But he's great for wrestling, and he's a heck of a wrestler. He got a family, he got kids that watch, he got a lot of pride. So they got some real good athletes in AEW, no doubt about it.
All right, TNA, and I'm going to go to TNA real quick here. Andrade. It looks like Andrade's moving up in the world in AEW. He wants to challenge MJF. I think you know what, I like MJF, but that could be a good match because yeah, he has. Yes, he has. Yep, he has. Yes, he did. Yeah, he's a good wrestler, and he's an accomplished wrestler, and WWE did it to him again, and he went back to AEW. So TNA Wrestling has announced that Elijah, and those of you who don't know who Elijah is the old Elias. He is now with TNA, and he is going to be taking on Mustafa Ali in a casket match at TNA Impact tapings in Nashville for this Saturday. They're going to be doing a taping in Nashville for their Thursday night Impact. Your thoughts on this match here? Interesting match, huh? Elijah versus Mustafa Ali. What do you think about this one, Smoking Jim?
Elijah is another one of these guys from Borough.
Yeah, he is. Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
He's always been. I used to always love when he used to play his guitar and talk trash on people at the beginning when he got in the ring. But hopefully he'll bring some of that back. But is his brother still wrestling, or his fake brother? Was that his brother?
No, you're not gonna believe who Elijah was. You ready?
Okay.
It was L.A. Knight.
Oh, really?
It was L.A. Knight. He played his brother Elijah. That was L.A. Knight. Yeah, that was L.A. Knight. So, yeah, I read something on that. That was L.A. Knight. Okay. This is this week's TNA No Surrender event on Friday. Here's the lineup for this event, okay, which is coming up this week. Mike Santana and Leon Slater versus Nick Nemeth and Eddie Edwards. This is going to be an interesting match. Here's Smoking Jim. Mike Santana is the champ right now at TNA. I believe he beat Frankie Kazarian and got the title back. So your thoughts on this one here? This is going to be an interesting match for this Friday's event, No Surrender. Go ahead.
Let me hear your comments on this one.
Mike Santana's on a roll right now, but Nick Nemeth and Eddie Edwards, that's a classic team right there. You know, Nick Nemeth is Dolph Ziggler, and he's using his real name now. Eddie Edwards has been around TNA forever in 6 years. So I think them two are going to beat Leon Slater and Mike Santana, although Mike Santana is the champ. But I just don't see him getting past these guys. TNA International Championship. Channing Stacks and Lorenzo, the champ, versus Trey Miguel for the TNA International Championship. Trey Miguel's not a bad wrestler. I'm wondering if he'll be able to take this from him. Your thoughts on that match, Smokin' Jim? TNA International Championship.
That's going to be a good one, bro.
Yeah, that is.
Could really, truly go either way. What you think?
Yeah, it could. But Trey Miguel's not a bad wrestler. Okay, here we go. Matt and Jeff Hardy, the Hardys. As I said, they're starting to wind their careers down. Vincent and Dutch versus Order 4, Mustafa Ali and Jason Hotch, John Schuyler and Agent Zero. All right, they're called Order 4. It's going to be Jeff and Matt Hardy, Vincent and Dutch versus Order 4. Mustafa Ali, Jason Hotch, John Schuyler, and Agent Zero. And Mustafa Ali is going to be involved in that casket match as well. The last casket match TNA had, Smokin' Jim, was in 2024. I had the privilege of meeting this wrestler, PCO, when he was with ROH. And PCO and Moose fought in the last casket match on TNA. But that's what that match is going on. I'm taking the Hardys, Vincent and Dutch. What do you think?
Man, somebody could get killed in that match. It's going to be high flying, but I agree with you. I got to side with the Hardys too.
Yep. All right. TNA Knockouts World Championship. Leah Ying Lee versus Ariana Grace. Ariana Grace is a good wrestler. Lei Ying Lee, she could get beaten this match. It's not a bad match, so we'll see what happens there as well. Your thoughts on that match? And that's
let me get your take on that one, bro.
Yeah, I like Ariana Grace. I've seen her wrestle in NXT. She's in TNA now, and I think she'll do pretty well. I think it's going to be a good match. It's not going to be no slouchy match. So but that casket match, Smokin' Jim's not going to be for at the It's going to be at an Impact taping. It's not going to be for the on Friday night for the No Surrender or the that's going to be that's a different night there. I'm sorry, I said it was going to be. It's not. The No Surrender lineup is for Friday. It's a Friday event. So, all right, that's TNA news. AEW don't have much to talk about. Same old story, pretty much. Any final thoughts you have, Smokin' Jim, before we wrap things up here?
Great show, man. Great day. Great guests earlier with Bo. Both probably could have fit in with the Wrestletalk a little bit.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, man, it's a great time to be a wrestling fan, like we always say. Every level of wrestling seems to getting better and better with better athletes and people that's really making money now. People can really make money and start a family and do whatever. They're being paid like professionals now, so that's great.
Okay, here, I got some news here. This is from Wrestling Inc. Says that Bryan Danielson made comments during a recent Dynamite episode that he might be making an in-ring return. So there you go. Bryan Danielson possibly making an in-ring return. What do you think of that, Smokin' Jim?
Wow. We always will be able to recognize him with the beard. So, yeah, that's great.
Yeah, and Kenny Omega was asked a question this week by this Fightful Select. Is there another one or a desire to have one more title run? Kenny Omega said, I will get there. That's exactly what Kenny Omega said. So obviously, Kenny Omega is looking for another title run. So we will find out what's going on with him. And also, that's about it for them, for AEW. But I just want to let everyone know about that as well. And AEW's Double or Nothing is scheduled for Louis Armstrong Stadium in New York. So I want to let everyone know that as well. And that's by Post Wrestling is publicizing this article here. So, all right. So, but other than that, Smokin' Jim, I have no other final thoughts. Let's see what happens with this Elimination Chamber stuff going on. TNA's got a bunch of stuff. They're on AMC now. You can catch them at 9 o'clock on Thursdays. Wednesdays, Dynamite, Collision on Friday or Saturday, whichever day they choose to have it, based on schedules on TBS and all that stuff. And if you have HBO Max now, you can get the pay-per-views now for AEW, and you'll have to pay for it. So, you just have to pay for your HBO Max subscription. So that's a good thing, too. For Smokin' Jim Frazier, I'm Ralph Williams. This has been another edition of Wrestletalk. Until next Tuesday, have yourself a great one. And please, by all means, be safe. Thank you for watching and listening.